Hello everyone, and welcome to Zoo Burn. Before I turn around and you can kind of see what Zoo Burn looks like, I just want to say this is kind of my new project inspired by the Asian Animal Pack, set in the mountains of Switzerland. So we have this nice zoo that's based in Bern, which is a city that historically has had a zoological institutes. I'm not going to call them zoos because they were definitely more medieval, but this is the start. If you couldn't tell, no entrance right now. I have an entrance planned out, but it's going to be a lot of work. We've got the game in pause right now just because a lot of stuff going on here. I want to run at the highest frames I can with the highest graphics that we can. But this is our building here. We're going to look at this aviary in a bit so we can do the walkthrough outside. But we have a walkthrough aviary inside, and we can talk a little bit about the species. So this is kind of a new format that I'm doing. I'm just trying to do tours of progress videos so I can show you what's coming in the near future, what we've been working on in stream. So this is our sort of starting area. We obviously need a roof in here. Need some more decorations, but I really like this modded bamboo piece. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with this room. It already has this information station here. We might include... Okay, it looks like his teeth. He had a missing tooth. We might include a small gift shop here as well. Ooh, they are phasing through each other. And we might do some education on this wall. I'm not sure. Oh, I have more. I thought I had gotten rid of all the clipping plants. But this is your walkthrough into the actual Indian aviary. So it's supposed to be like a dry riverbed is the idea. We have quite a few species in here. We'll get some cinematics of some of them because they are really cool modded pieces or modded animals for a lot of it. What's eating meat in here? Oh, I know what it is because it's coated off of the wolverine. But these are the Indian peafowl. We have quite a large family. They're kind of our money makers, or one of them. And it's using the remaster mod by Leaf. So these guys have all these different color variants, and they look beautiful. Another mod we have in here is by Great Cake Mods, and that is the Indian Giant Hornbill. We'll take a look at them a little bit more in the cinematics for sure, and we'll also take a look at them on the outdoor aviary enclosure. Also, we have the Indian Star Tortoise, which you can see there. I don't know who did that. I'll probably pop something up on the screen so you can see. And if we go down here, I think we have our other modded animal. They might be actually outside, but we also have the Indian Giant Squirrel. We'll take a look at them later. I'll try and put all mod authors. I'll stop saying who made the mods and pop it up on the screen. This area here needs a ton of work. I've kind of got a general idea of how I'm going to put the theming in here, but we'll see for sure. I think we might put, and this will be another entrance slash exit for people who don't want to go through the aviary. But let's go and see the outside aviary real quick while that's happening. So here we have our Indian great hornbills. They use the wolverine rig, which is why that meat was there. And then there's the Indian squirrel. I believe Kanu PZ is doing a remaster of them. I'm not sure when that will be out, but they look pretty good still. And Leaf has been releasing some squirrels on the Nexus page. I'll have a link to the Planet Zoo Nexus in here. There you can see one of our baby Indian Star Tortoise. Leaf also did the blueprints for these climbing frames there. I made this one, but those climbing frames are required for them to be able to fly. So you can see we've got 2 squirrels in here. Quite a few hornbills as they've been breeding pretty rapidly. Pretty happy with this. Still need a lot of work on the general surrounding area. We'll go that way. Well, actually, I guess we can see the outdoor enclosure first. Hmm. I guess maybe I'm trying to think of how we can make this look a little bit better, and we might have some vista points to have people standing at the right place. But here we have the outdoor enclosure for our monkey. So the lion-tailed macaques live in here, as well as rhesus macaques and Hanuman langurs. I'll have the mod authors in the top right corner. You can kind of see the rhesus macaque there. They are aging a little bit, that mod. Another rhesus macaque. Looks like we've got none of the other monkeys out here. But they can go in and out through that opening. And then we've got these custom education signs that I made using the new LED pieces. I'm really happy with the foliage I did here. Some of the best foliage I've been doing. Definitely inspired by Blob. So thank you for Blob showing up in my streams, and for it's gotten me to watch his videos more and really get in depth with foliage. There'll be a more grand entrance here. Right now it's just a wall, but wanted to get this out as quickly as possible. And just do these little progress videos every once in a while. We also need to work on that clipping. It kind of tells me what we need to work on. So this is the indoor enclosure for our macaques. You can see some of the lion-tailed macaques over there. And they're all up in this tree as well. So that's pretty cool. He looks a little odd right now. But we also have, yeah, the Hanuman langur and the Indian crested porcupine. Those two species. I'll have the mod authors up as well. But I really like this habitat. I think it's pretty dynamic and looks pretty realistic to what you might see in a real zoo. Again, those custom education signs are in here. This is where the signage is stopped because I need to work on it quite a bit. But this is the crab-eating mongoose. Looks like one just went for a swim in here. And this is supposed to be like a mangrove forest. I'm pretty happy with this. I think we need a little bit more foliage on that right-hand lower side by the mud walls that I made. These were actually not created by Caesar Creates. I did my own. Trying to use as few blueprints as possible because I want to improve my skills at creating things. Signage is definitely going to be required in here. And we've got these lights that I made for the pack. And we'll probably want to improve here. We've got a bathrooms over here, which we kind of need to pretty up. But over here, we have our honey badger enclosure. Something that I didn't know, that you may not know as well, is that the honey badgers can climb in game. I remember that being a big hubbub at release. It looks like they might both be outside in their outdoor enclosure, because I'm not seeing them. Yeah, there's one of them. But they can climb, so giving them climbing structures and trees and things is a way to make their habitats way more interesting. But we've got kind of this scrubby grassland. Over here, I think we're going to have a few exhibit boxes, but I need to work on that still. In fact, I might work on it after I'm done recording this, we'll see. And then this is the Bengal fox. I will mention the mod author Canu PZ because we've been kind of in Discord talking about some of his future mod projects, and they're going to be cool and definitely included. But this is supposed to be like a scrubby grassland, whereas we just came out of the scrubby desert, basically. And so we get some meadow plants and things like that. And they're pretty cool. I didn't realize how dark the eyes of these foxes are in real life. I think I might still want to do some work around the entrance to this habitat. And then we've got a little bit of restaurant seating in here. Probably want to make this look quite a bit nicer. Then you've got a walk-through enclosure, which is very much not finished, for the Malabar rose butterfly. That came in the free LC, so anyone can use this. So as long as you've got Planet Zoo PC, I'm sure it will come to console players eventually. But a nice, pretty butterfly. We might put another Asian species of butterfly like the European peacock in here as well. This is kind of our money-making scheme, but it's pretty cool. And then you exit this. This will all be designed like a temple, so don't worry about it currently. Also, I wish we had this mesh as an actual piece in-game, but so sad. So here we've got our actual like temple theming. You can see how the rest of the building is going to look. I probably will include some like goldfish props or something like that in there. I know I said I wasn't going to use any workshop props, so I might make it myself. I may not. Can use the new LED pieces pretty nicely for that. But I'm liking this Indian style temple. I took a few things from reference pictures, so I hope it's pretty accurate. This may get moved in the future, just guests were complaining about no ATMs. So we've got our restaurant here, a long line to see it. And before we turn around, I'm just going to show you some of the outdoor enclosures for our other animals. So here we have the Bengal fox outdoor enclosure. I think you can see them just there. They're really hard to spot because they blend in quite nicely with this grass. Oh, we need some foliage in that spot. We won't look over there just yet. But here's the outdoor enclosure for the honey badger. I know we could see the honey badger. There we go. That's our male, and there's our female right there, albino. I'll make sure to get some cinematics of them because they are new. And then I made this custom climbing frame, all with rope coils, and the rope coils made them unable to climb it, which was quite upsetting. But here's the outdoor enclosure for the mangrove, or not the mangrove, the crab-eating mongoose. And I can't see the other one. They can really blend into the scaviola and ferns as well. We saw the one though, so let's get back to the front here, because typically this restaurant is not what you see first when you round this corner. When you round this corner, the idea is you see this. And you can either go down there or over to this plaza, which I think this plaza is going to prove a big draw. Well, for one, it's got a vista point and some benches, which apparently everyone's exhausted. Also, I could have sworn I changed the colors on these benches. I'll fix that later. But so this is a statue on dragons in Eastern cultures. That vista point might need to be moved. So the whole idea is, well, dragons are very common in Eastern cultures, and it's sometimes thought that maybe they were based off of crocodiles and things like that. So over in here, we've got our gharial habitat, which I've recently submitted to a build competition. There we go. There's our male. You can tell, so because of that knob. And then we've got our custom signs. I think I want to bring the other signs more in line with this, but we'll see. I guess we'll have different types, but I think this would be better for like the outside type. Again, using those LED panels because they're so nice. So this, we eventually will have a terrace. You can kind of see above, but it will have Indian hoofstock like the wild water buffalo and nilgai on this bottom terrace. And then above that, we'll have hoofstock like black buck and the Indian rhinoceros. And we'll be working on how guests are going to see them on the upper terraces, because this will be a nice naturalistic view where you'll be able to see them, but I don't know if you can tell, but seeing them is kind of going to be difficult from this angle, but it's going to give a really nice effect. I don't like the idea of having this barrier here, but for children's safety, we kind of need it. So we've got another signage here, and let's see if we can get a view of the female, but I think she's around this corner, last I checked. Which is very much still a work in progress. Where is she? Oh, there she is. See, this is what the barrier is for, so people like me don't go across. There we go. Yeah, we're still in the barrier. So yeah, that's this habitat. There's one other thing. This is very, very work in progress right now, but if we walk this way, I gotta fix this path as well. If we walk this way, you can go down here and enter into this building, which is still, again, very much a work in progress. But we do have a view here into the Gharial indoor enclosure, which is looking pretty good. I need to make some decals and stuff to make it look nicer. That looks a little odd. But then eventually you'll be able to come across and see the interior of the hoof stock. I'll be using the Denver Zoo's Rhino backstage area as inspiration for that. But yeah, I'm really excited about this project. Let's go into the top person view so you can kind of get a view of the layout. So this is that habitat, and you can see when I go up here, I've already kind of blocked out this area for the water buffalo and nilgai. I think we're going to use more this height grasses and kind of lower some of this and use more ponytail palm around this edge because it's just a little too tall, I think, but it should keep the animals from moving around. Should block their traversable area. I'm hoping that it will, because that would be a nice way to keep the animals from moving. Even though, and I think in real life, the animals would not attempt to cross this barrier. So that's kind of cool here. Also, big thanks to Blob for the Ansel settings that I'm using now. That makes everything look significantly nicer. But yeah, this is going to all be a planted wall. I'm liking / roof. I'm liking the planted roof style. I also got to figure out what I want here. Because obviously we've got that there. Probably do some sort of ovular structure there on the roof. Obviously need a flat roof here, I think is the plan. And then here, we might put some of the electrical stuff. And then this roof will curve up like this and be planted. We'll see. And then I gotta work on the entrance here. But that's probably it for this episode. If you did enjoy it, go ahead and like this video. It really helps out. Actually, I don't think I am going to have cinematics, because I don't really have time to record them to get this out on time. But I'll do a quick little close-up of a bunch of the animals while I do this outro. So, guys, if you did enjoy this video, go ahead and like this video. Subscribe if you want to see more of these kind of videos, and comment and let me know, do you prefer the speed builds? Do you prefer the tours? I think I enjoy recording the tours more. I'll say that much. Because they're a lot easier for me to actually record instead of just having to edit and do a voiceover of something. It feels a little bit more natural to actually do this tour. Don't worry about that. We might fix that later. Maybe. So yeah, we've got the Indian giant squirrel there. Some Indian peafowl variants, which are really pretty. The Indian hornbill and star tortoises. Oh, sorry if that gave anyone motion sickness. Here we've got the crab-eating mongoose. Looking really good. And then honey badger. This is one of Frontier's best models. And some of their best animations. We might do a cinematic showcase later on. Do a short cinematic tour of it as well. That could be fun as well. Just have no talking in it. Just me coming through with the cinematic camera while it is actually set on play. Here we have the Bengal fox. And y'all have probably seen the Malabar. We got a pretty good look at the Malabar rose butterfly, so let's take a quick look at the Gharial, because this is a remaster mod as well. I want to say good boy, but I'm not 100% sure. I'll try and pop it up on the screen. But looking really nice. And then the female. Again, looking very nice. Can I? Nah. Okay. Whatever. But yeah, thanks guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.